Fridays are awesome. This is CNN Student News, 10 minutes of current events with no commercials. I'm Carl Azus. Today's show begins in Europe. A leader of the free world and a leader of a worldwide religion met for the first time yesterday. Relations between President Obama and Pope Francis have been strained over disagreements concerning issues like abortion and certain aspects of Obamacare. So the two heads of state focused mainly on the things they do agree on, like helping the poor and fighting human slavery. They met in private for an hour after exchanging gifts. The president gave the Pope seeds to plant in a custom-made timber box. The Pope gave the president 2 medallions symbolizing peace between hemispheres and a copy of the Pope's book, The Joy of the Gospel. In the historic neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts, a fire broke out Wednesday in a 4-story building. A fire chief said in his 30 years of service, he'd never seen a blaze travel so fast, escalate so quickly, and cause so much damage in so little time. This was a 9-alarm fire, a measure of the number of firefighters who got involved. More than 150 of them arrived to help, and 2 of them died after rushing into the burning building and saving several people who'd been trapped on the upper floors. New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady saw the fire and discussed it and the heroes who fought it on the radio.
I feel so badly for the families of the 2 firefighters that were lost, and obviously all the men that were associated with fighting that fire yesterday, losing, one of their close friends. So, I mean, we as athletes think that we're heroes, but when you witness firsthand, what I saw yesterday, you realize who the real heroes are in this world.
It's been a frustrating and incredibly difficult search. Almost 3 weeks after a Malaysia Airlines passenger plane vanished with 239 people aboard, nothing has been recovered. Satellite sightings of suspected debris are being reported daily now, focused on the southern Indian Ocean. But search planes have yet to pinpoint anything so that ships can recover it.
The fleet searching the southern sector to find this missing airplane is really quite impressive. There are 11 aircraft, 5 ships from these various countries out here. They're scouring the water, but all you have to do is look at the map to realize why this remains a difficult job. Look at the distance from Perth, where they're flying out over the plains, and where these objects were spotted in the latest satellite images. That's 1,600 miles. That means a tremendous amount of energy and time spent just getting back and forth every single day. Here's another way to look at it. If you consider the overall southern search area of some 621,000 square miles, by the time they handle all this travel and get into position and look around for a while, basically what they can search is about 5% of the zone every day. That means in perfect weather, with perfect equipment, everything going right, it would take them 20 days to get through this sector. Even if you narrow that down, even if you say we're not doing the big sector, we're just doing the small area up here, which is described as being about the size of Denver. So 12.5 miles by 12.5 miles, that's what the math works out to here. Imagine taking off from Washington, D.C. in the morning with a search crew, and you have to fly all the way across the country, out here across the Great Plains to Colorado, and then when you land in Colorado, you have to move on up to Denver. And then in Denver, you have to fly over the city, and you have 2 or 3 hours to try to spot a particular mailbox or trash can or car. And if you do not spot it, you have to turn around and fly all the way back to Washington, D.C. to get more fuel and a little sleep and come back and do it again the next day. That's why this remains such a daunting task.
Time for the shout out. What is the translation of the terms el desayuno, la colazione, and petit déjeuner? You know what to do. Is it animal, breakfast, currency, or desire? You've got 3 seconds. Go. If you've taken a class in Romance language, you'll know that these are terms for breakfast. That's your answer, and that's your shout out.
Breakfast has been called the most important meal of the day, and chances are you'll be calling it more expensive in the days ahead. The price of many of the things we eat for breakfast is going up. There are tangible, direct reasons for this, such as a virus that has killed millions of pigs in the U.S. Other reasons will combine to make breakfast prices harder to digest.
For some, tucking into a fry-up is the perfect way to start the day. Full of fat and grease, it has satisfied customers for years. But this English staple could be under threat from higher prices.
Take this full English breakfast, for example. Everything on this plate, with the exception perhaps of the baked beans, is actually increased. But even if you decide you don't want this, you want something lighter, something like toast or cereal, well, that's gone up too.
Market analysts say sausages and bacon have jumped more than 40% this year after a deadly US virus caused a decline in the nation's pig herd. And if you want to soak it all up with toast, well, prepare for some geopolitical indigestion. Wheat prices have soared 17% so far this year, impacted by the crisis in the Ukraine.
They are the largest, one of the largest corn producers and one of the largest wheat exporters as well. So when we look down and we realize Crimea alone, which is part of the, accounts for about 10% of Ukraine's exports, that could potentially be disrupted should the political situation escalate.
Even if you just want liquids.
Well, that may also leave you with a bitter taste in your mouth.
Well, coffee is up almost 59% this year alone, following one of the worst ever droughts in Brazil, the world's biggest coffee producer. The dry weather has also impacted the orange harvest, with orange juice up 10% so far this year. And cocoa is up 12% as the world braces for the El Niño weather phenomenon, which brings heavier rains to places like South America and India and drought conditions in Australia.
The difference between supply and demand in any given year is relatively tight at the moment. Cocoa prices have risen by roughly 50% during the last 12 months. And any weather threat that comes along at the moment could have a dramatic effect on further increasing prices.
Perhaps then, best to stick to water.
We always welcome your feedback. If you're on Facebook, we're at facebook.com/CNN Student News. If you're on Twitter, we're at CNN Student News and at Carl Azus CNN. And if you're at least 13 years old, you can comment on our transcript page at cnnstudentnews.com. Some of yesterday's comments. Evan says he agrees with Northwestern University football players who want to unionize. As an athlete, he says, I'd like to have full coverage by the college due to an injury. Demetria disagrees, saying they're not employees, they're students who get an education. And also, employees pay taxes and students don't. Miss Lewis says the video of how choppy and rough the seas are in the Indian Ocean really got through to her students about why it's so hard to find the missing Malaysia Airlines plane. Matt said the Fish and Wildlife story about the transfer of salmon by truck was something he'd never really heard of before. And Eric predicted that the Girl Scouts member who broke the record for most cookie boxes sold will be a great business person someday. Some viewers in the Hawkeye State lead off today's CNN Student News. Roll call! Lamar's Community High School. The Bulldogs are hunkered down in Lamar's, Iowa. Same mascot as my college alma mater. Then it's south to Laredo, Texas. The Panthers are stalking CNN Student News. Good to see you online at United South High School. And no man is an island, but many live on Rhode Island, and that's where we're saluting the Sentinels of Smithfield High School. How old do you think Batman is? I don't mean Christian Bale or George Clooney. I mean Batman the character. Believe it or not, the Caped Crusader has been saving lives and vanquishing villains for 75 years. It all started in May of 1939 with Detective Comics number 27. The book cost 10 cents then. A vintage copy in good condition recently sold for more than $1 million. The next film in the series, which also involves Superman, is scheduled for 2016. So that's when Batman Returns, which ironically came out before Batman Begins. I wonder if they'll be making sequels of Batman Forever. The difference between some of them is like day and night. But these puns are robbing us of all our time. I'm a bit of a joker, but certainly no comic. We'll say goodbye now. Penguin again Monday, and we hope you'll book 10 minutes for us then.